perché questa non mette? Il cambio secondo me potrebbe essere la gente che passa là. O un bel cambio. Lasci parlare e questa la metti sull'arancio del fondo. Finché sono l'arancio. La pianta d'arancia. Un dettaglio. E poi mentre loro parlano prima del cambio dopo.
E comunque tieni fortunato perché
Sì.
No, pensavo fossero le coste del Cavaliere, ci sono delle coste difficili così, ma vedi una roba di estrema precisione, costano tipo 30.000, solo lo stesso.
E poi dopo però abbiamo messo. Ma perché?
Sono molto precisi, devi fare dei movimenti di camera molto fluidi, quindi dipendono dai nervi che c'hai nelle braccia. Ed è difficilissimo fare una panoramica che sia proprio perfetta. Quindi dici, oh,
dai, in Piazza Grande di seguito. Hai bisogno di per una camera in spalla va bene.
ma poi oggi ti sto fando vedere sì, dico me, ammazza il culo che ti fai, cioè non puoi camminare sempre indietro per 10 giorni di fila. E io, grazie.
Grazie per averlo notato.
Sì, esatto.
Sì. No.
Dai. Ciao ragazzi.
Please welcome So, together with us for the Q&A of Critical Zone is the producer of the film, Sina Atayandina. And unfortunately, at the table are not with us the director of the film, Ali Ahmadzadeh, and actors Amir Pusti, Shirin Abdenirad, and Saba Bagheri. So before we open this round of questions and answers about Critical Zone, I wanted to ask you, Sina, if you could tell us why Ali and his cast are not able to attend the world premiere of Critical Zone in Locarno.
Long version or short version?
Long version, please.
Yeah. No, I would like to really dedicate this talk now. Please stand me that I really explain you the extended version because it's something that I think it's important. Basically, about a year ago, Ali was, or let's say, Win took the news that there is such a film. Ali was asked to go to interrogations in the Ministry of Security, and he was basically under pressure to show them the film. He doesn't believe in any form of censorship. As an act of civilian disobedience, he denied. He was under big pressure, and there was a possibility to bring him to Germany. There is this artist residency, NIPCO, connected to Berlinale, that granted him a 3-month residency. He went to Turkey. In Istanbul, he applied for a German visa, and as an Iranian, you can stay there for 3 months without visa. And he waited 3 months till he got a no from German embassy, and he had 2 options: to stay there, which is not so pleasant, or he decided to go back. And this was the moment he left Iran. 3 days after that, Mahsa Amini was killed, and the uprising started. So he decided to go back to Iran. He was caught in the airport. His passport was taken, and he was again in the process of interrogation for a very long time, till the protests somehow reduced a little bit, and then in one point there was a so-called public mercy, and he also got his passport back. With the help of our colleagues, our friends in Locarno, Giona, and all the others, we wanted to bring him out much more in advance before the press conference in the 5th of July. And we tried with Swiss embassy, and also we tried with Italian embassy. They both reported that there are problems. And at the end, it was very difficult to find out what happened, but at the end we understood that German embassy in Istanbul put a flag on his case that he can never ever enter the Schengen zone. This was very surprising for me, and what was even more surprising was that we tried to follow it in the highest level with our friends in Berlinale. Mariette, executive director of Berlinale, she was following the case. She personally put a lot of energy to find out what it is. At the end, we couldn't do anything, and the 5th of July, there was the press conference, and our secret was revealed that there is such a film, yes, and Ali was asked to go back to interrogations. He was blacklisted. He could not pass the border. And only 2 days after that, we got a message that there is no flag. Denial. Not even saying that we pulled off the flag. Total denial that there was at all any flag. Fortunately, from one Italian festival that tried to invite Ali, I have a written email that explains there is a flag. I invite anybody here that wants to follow the case. I am very happy to explain it even more detailed. What is more surprising or shocking is that his interrogators knew in details about this, and they even used it as like to make fun of him or humiliate him, that look, your Western bosses, they even don't give you a visa. This is happening in the time that as a German citizen, or I'm really disappointed, I have to say, I'm really disillusioned about the reality of what is really the reality of Western politics, and Germany specifically, or Chancellor and or feminist Minister of Foreign Affairs constantly talk about supporting women, life, freedom, revolution in Iran, and this is the reality of it. They could easily help save a life. I don't know what will happen to Ali. I hope that he's safe. The point is that with Iran, you never know what happens, but they could avoid that he is in this risk. So this is the brief, and what I would like to add to it is that in the time that the artists or oppositions or people that want change are in such situations, and Ali is a perfect case example. We have all regime-related people coming to Hanover and they get treatments in the high-level medical. So I just want to make it a public topic here, and please do what you can do for it. Write an email to your parliament member, or I don't know, do something about it as people that, if you care about it. Or I don't know, maybe you say what we could do as normal citizen. I don't know, maybe you can sign a petition or do something about it, please. And was this a good brief? Or I can expand it also. I apologize my bitter mood because I am really sad to see that these chairs are empty. It would have been so easy to avoid this.
Thank you, Sina. I would like to immediately open the round of questions since I feel there's a lot of interest for the film. So please feel free to raise your hand. We have a microphone that will get to you if you want to ask anything, comment, share your thoughts, opinion. Yes, we have a question in the middle.
Is this disaster of drug real in Iran, or this is exaggerated? Is it really like this, the situation?
Sorry, the microphone is not working. Can we try again? Yeah, it seems to be working now. Yeah.
The disaster of drug situation in Iran is really so bad like this, or this is exaggerated? Is really like this?
Well, I think in the film, drug has not only a realistic reference to reality, but has a metaphoric role as well. And I think if you see life of a drug dealer, you see a lot of drugs. So I don't know if we have to take it as representative of the whole society, but I think it's quite some drugs in Iran, as much as I know.
Thank you. We have a question in the back.
Hi, just a question about the initial scene. There was there's obviously some sort of organized we don't. We're not sure where they enter. Is it state? Is it the state dominion in that tunnel where they then distribute? Because obviously there's more than one. Then we follow the story of one of them. But is that essentially an illegal kind of drug distribution, or is it kind of coordinated by the state?
I think these are really questions for Ali, and each time I receive this question, it just makes me more sad that he's not sitting here to answer. What I can say is that I don't have anything against neither of those interpretations. Was this an answer? Yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Is
So-
it okay if I put on my sunglasses?
Yes,
Sorry,
please.
these projectors are quite strong for my eyes.
Yes, we have a question there.
Well, thank you to be here. It's quite difficult to ask questions about the movie after all what you told us. But
Sorry, we really don't hear. I don't know if we can have the microphone a bit louder, maybe.
it's not working. Is it working?
No, not yet.
No.
Okay.
Prova?
Yeah.
Funziona?
It should work. Okay. It's difficult to ask a question about the movie after all what you told us. But 9 years after Taxi Tehran, I had the feeling to see not this movie, but a movie inspired by that movie and much more hopeless. And my second question is, many things are screened in cars, and is there a reason for that?
I start with answering the second question. First question, I didn't fully understand it because of the sound quality. The car, I think it's something that is interesting for Ali to tell stories that happens in a car. And it's anyway like a film tradition in Iran. You can find a handful of films that mostly are shot in cars. And it has, of course, this I think Ali designed this film according to real possibilities, and this is for him the definition of alternative cinema or underground cinema. This what you have watched is underground film. Here in Europe, we don't have underground film. There is nothing underground. Everything is on the ground. In Iran, you have to think of how you can tell a story and what are the real possibilities. And car, I think, was a convenient choice for him to tell this story. But again, please, if you have questions about artistic aspect, I can tell you what I know about his ideas. But it deeply touches me that and it's also a surreal situation that I'm sitting here answering questions that he should answer, he should have answered. So first question I didn't really understand. Would you like to try a bit closer?
Brava, brava.
I just said that it reminds me Taxi Tehran, 9 years after, and it's much more hopeless.
Okay. No, actually, we are much more hopeful at the moment. You are talking to one of the most pessimist people on the earth, and I have to tell you that this woman life freedom revolution is coming back soon in a bigger scale, and eventually the system will collapse. So we are hopeful. It's sorry to be a downer, but it's just question of how much blood and time. Yeah.
Yeah, Sina, I would like to ask you if you could, because you started saying that this is an underground film, and I think that you have really you really struggled to make it, and there's a specific different methods that you used in order to be able to shoot this film. Would you like to share this with the audience?
Yeah. So every scene of the film basically has its own specific detailed plan how to shoot it, and in this sense it's very much similar to like a spy mission or something like that, or like a bank robbery or something, because you have to make no mistake. If you make mistakes, and at the end it's not just about not making mistake and not getting caught, but it's also about doing something that you want to shoot. You have an agenda what you want to achieve. So what Ali did was that he divided the film to 10 pieces. Let's call it 10 short films. And within the time, he went through pre-production, shooting, and then a bit of rest, preparing next episode. And sometimes we used fake permission, sometimes we wrapped the officials, sometimes we used hidden camera. It was always customized for what Ali, and he had a vision what he wants to show, and according to that he always also designed how he wants to shoot it.
And for example, you mentioned before earlier the example of the scene at the airport. I think this is something quite interesting.
Yeah. This was an easy one because in airports sometimes people have small handicaps filming their families, friends leaving or arriving after some years, family reunions and stuff. So we had a good quality handycam, and that was, we tried in post-production to bring it as close as possible. The texture of the picture was in raw material very different, and now it's slightly different thanks to our technical people. And this was an easy one, I would say. Easy comparison, easy, yeah.
Thank you. We have a question in the back.
Instead, which ones were the ones that were the most dangerous to film, and how did you do it?
We cannot measure the danger because it didn't happen. If it would happen, the film would not exist. So it's a very abstract. You can ask which one scared us more, or I don't know. But I cannot answer this because we managed. So. Well.
We have another question in the front.
It's actually almost the same question, maybe other words.
Try.
You said this was an easy one. There were more difficult ones. So which one were difficult?
Okay, I should not. I should have not used the word easy, because easy just in comparison, because the fact that a handycam exists is justified in an airport in Iran, because it's common. I just meant it in this sense, but definitely it was not easy.
Sure.
Maybe it was even, if objectively somebody wants to measure it, maybe it's even more dangerous, but this is not something I can comment on it,
But like you set it in comparison with something. So what is?
So when you have a camera in public in Iran, you need a permission. You need a permission for shooting, and you need a permission for the content if you want to shoot a feature film. Shooting permission. If you want to show a film, you need a permission to show the film. And if you want to show it abroad, this is new, thanks to radical idiots on government. Now you need an extra permission for screening abroad. So basically, from this I can maybe make a bridge to the subject of censorship, which is Ali's subject. He doesn't want to obey it. and it's like a situation that as an independent filmmaker in Iran you have to face with it every moment of your work. Just two nights ago, another crew that were shooting a film, they were, how to say it, they were arrested, attacked by police just because they were filming something that was not pleasant for, apparently without hijab, and this is enough for them to arrest everybody.
We have a question in the back.
Yes. Can you say something to the places where the woman, where he wants her to come in the night? What was she doing, and where she was dancing? I don't know in which context she was dancing. That's the first question, and the second is, as I understood, he was a dealer, and he was kind of an angel because he was spreading the drugs for nothing. I had the impression, to poor people. And what is it about the old people? Could you say something about this treatment?
Well, these are again all questions for Ali, obviously, and obviously I have I think he had the intention to keep it a little bit also open for interpretation, where this woman, the first one, is working and so on. About your second one, what was your second?
We saw the scene where they distribute cookies to the old people.
This was your third question. Second question was?
Oh, I had third. I had 3-1. I can't count. Yeah, this was about the dancer, you know. Where was she dancing, in which context? This was the first, and the second was about his angel being.
Yeah, okay. This I can say something on this, that I think he wanted to show some kind of an urban saint, let's call it, like a prophet in modern context, and sometimes played hard, sometimes played cheerfully, and that's what he wanted to show. That was the original idea of the film, basically, in my understanding. And about the elderly scene, I have my own interpretation from it, and I think it's good to keep it open, since I'm not the author of the film. I would prefer that I don't comment on this, and hopefully one day Ali will be available to explain this in detail.
I just want to mention, I've heard that in Israel, in the what's the place called where all the old people are?
Elderly house.
Elderly house, yes. They get drugs legally. It's a concept, and I thought, so it's here also a concept.
Yeah, I don't know if one-to-one this is a concept in Iran, but this metaphor of a prophet that heals and gives drugs, and if they are all the same, and religion, and this is the idea behind it.
Thank you. We have a question in the front here. Here, in the front, top front. First row here.
Thank you for your film. I appreciated it very much. It's a very strong film. And I asked me how you could manage that he would accept it in the land and abroad. Perhaps I didn't get it. You have explained that. But I ask you how you could be accepted in the land, in your land, and abroad.
How the film is accepted in the land?
You talked about.
Yeah, okay. I think this is my interpretation. I think this film shows that something is boiling in this society. And for me, a critical zone is an artistic reflection on this rage and anger of the new generation and the underworld. But the underworld is huge in such societies that the official culture and authorities are parallel to what reality of people's life is. And of course, this was shot before the revolution, woman life, freedom, uprising revolution. But I think Ali observed something in this society, and this was his impression over something that later led to this.
Hello. I would like to thank for the film as well, and I would like to ask about the financing the film in these circumstances, about the contracts for the actors or for the crew. Were there some like official contracts or not?
Yeah. All the of course, the film was financed in a very minimal and minimum way, and some part of the work was done on Rückstellung, how do you say, recoupment, if you want to know. And there was no funding from Iran and no funding from anywhere else. It was private money, and you can say in pure sense it's an independent film, because here in Europe we have independent cinema, but you get subsidy money, tax money for doing an independent film, and this was not the case. We would have loved to have it, but we were not eligible. But you have to ask them why we were not eligible. I'm surprised why we were not. And I think that's it, yeah?
Yeah,
was this a good answer? Was it? Yeah?
We have a question there. Yeah. Wait,
Yeah,
please, we don't hear.
About the contracts for the actors, if they were paid like official way, or was it possible even in these circumstances?
Yeah, it's a co-production, or Iranian partner paid the actors, and yeah, if you want to have more or a copy of the contracts, give me your email address. I will send a copy.
Yes.
I want to thank you really for this great work. It's really a moving picture, and it's great work of art, and I hope you can tell Ali about the reception, and I hope this movie will be shown in more festivals.
Yeah, thank you.
And thank you a lot. That's really great.
Thank you
great
so
work.
much. Yeah,
Thank you. We have a question here. Yes.
Hi. Thank you so much, first of all, for the film. It was amazing. I heard that the actors are like street casted and they're not professional actors. And I was wondering, it fits a lot, the dynamic and the world that you have created. And I wonder if you could elaborate a bit more about the why and how it came to be.
Yeah, most of the main characters are non-professional actors, and I think this was an artistic choice Ali made very early, because he wanted to capture something very fresh and very unique that is very hard to get from, like, when you have a professional actor. He was bringing something from the real characters into his fiction. That was the idea.
Yes,
Thanks Thanks for being here. I just want to ask you, maybe as a producer, maybe also I think you're close to Ali. So, what is the critical zone? What exactly? There are probably different interpretations, but for you, like as a viewer and also as a producer, what is the critical zone?
So you should imagine the planet Earth. If you are in the surface and then you go about 500 meters down or a couple of 100 meters up, this is a ring around the Earth that the life exists in the whole galaxy, or let's say the whole space human beings so far managed to discover, and this ring is called critical zone because it's critical for life.
So.
Thank you very much for such a beautiful film. I hope as well that the more international audience can watch it. And I really wonder about one scene at the elderly house when the protagonist goes with the nurse or care woman. They go upstairs and they go then downstairs. I really wonder about this trick. Was this made in post-production or it's... can you tell something about this?
Yeah, I think Ali is playful. He wants to play with different elements, and he shot it. Of course, it was done in production, and then he finished it in post-production.
Thank you very much. I want to go for a while on the underworld. It seems to be that the drugs can heal this underworld. And yes, it seems that is the only escape for now. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I think once you are living in an oppressed society, as an act of survive, you create parallel realities. And drug is an entrance to this. And unfortunately, that's why also it's so much drug consumption in all these oppressed areas.
So I wanted to ask you one more thing that we also talked this morning at the press conference, and it's that Critical Zone shows a Tehran that we haven't really seen in films before. I think that how this city by night looks like in this film is completely different than the one we're used to see in other pieces of cinema coming from Iran. So I wanted you to, if you could comment on that.
Yeah, I think there is a parallel between what is happening in cinema and what is happening in the society in Iran. People might wonder why there is such a big movement and revolution over a piece of fabric, and it's very difficult probably to understand it from a European perspective. Because here you have a minority of Muslims or people that wear hijab, and probably even they are in some certain situations discriminated. And this is absolutely not the case about Iran. Iran is a theocracy. And the Islamists have the political power, they have weapons, they have money, they have control over the majority that don't believe in any of that. So it's completely a different situation, and the system tied their existence so much to the law of hijab or anything that is related to this Sharia law. This is the fundamental element of the system that I always make this example with, because I live in Berlin, I always make this example with Berlin Wall. GDR, the East Germany, they tied their existence so much to this concept of wall that the moment that the first brick was pulled and the wall collapsed, the regime collapsed. And for Iran system, hijab is the wall. The moment this collapses, the system will collapse because their existence is tied to this. That's why it's so important how this picture is represented in cinema. And unfortunately, over the last 4 decades, the system managed to sell a fake picture of Iran to international community. Also in all the art house, high-level art house cinema and festival. Locarno was not that involved in this, fortunately. Locarno stayed as one of the clean ones. But they were all these propaganda scarf movies represented in the highest level art house cinema. A religious woman doesn't go to take a shower with a scarf. This is not how it happens in reality. But if you show a woman going to the bathroom to take shower, still she has hijab. So it's not even real. It's not even logical. And in purpose, it's forced to the films as well to show you that in every second of your life, in every moment of your life, the sign of oppression is present. So if you show a film like how Ali showed it, by its nature is act of rebellious. Just the fact that you don't obey this rule and just the fact that you challenge this wall. I don't know if this was relevant to you. What? Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Sina. Thank you, and I think we can now close this round of questions. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you, Sina, for presenting Critical Zone in Locarno, and you're always welcome here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.